The driving simulator used to train fire personnel is another example of how the Eugene Springfield Fire Department is on the leading edge of training and certification. In keeping with the city's goals of sustainability, the driving simulator not only is an excellent tool for teaching engineers how to maneuver fire apparatus safely, it also reduces the department's carbon footprint. Much less time is spent actually driving the apparatus on city streets.
A little over a year ago, we acquired these driving simulators. We have a two-seater and a single-seater. These simulators were funded in part by a federal grant, and what they are is a replication of our velocity cabs that we have in the system. And the components within are similar to the setup and layout of the velocity cabs, which are our engine companies. It has lights, emergency lights, regular lights. The startup procedure is all the same. It has an MDT, siren, backup camera actually, and a pump shift just like we have in our regular cabs. With the driving simulators, we have the ability to change apparatus, up to 9 with the two-seater and 7 with the single-seater. We have the ability to tie the two driving simulators together and make the two-seater the front of our tiller aerial apparatus and the single-seater the tiller cab of the aerial. The goal behind this is to cut down on our time that we're actually in our apparatus out on the drill field, getting our new people acclimated to how we want them driving. Everything from checking their mirrors, checking their gauges, to how they brake and how they steer and how they operate our apparatus.
Driving is a key component to part of this industry. The vehicles that we have range in size from an 8,000-pound Chevrolet Suburban to an 80,000-pound ladder truck. The specialty vehicles require a tremendous amount of training. That challenges us both physically in getting these vehicles out on the street. There's time associated with that, taking companies away from running calls, their primary mission. We have to have one of our driving instructors accompany these candidates as we're teaching them. This modern technology is going to reduce that significantly. It won't eliminate it. We need the practical application where we're doing real-world driving out on the roads. But what this will do is it will help us with basic fundamental skills. At the onset, when we have a recruit academy come in, we'll be able to use these to really help them with the repetitive, the basic skills, blinkers, mirrors, the common checks, knowing the space around the vehicle. The screens have a very high resolution. They're able to indicate all sorts of risks, collateral impacts, children playing with the balls, vehicles in cross traffic, that type of thing. So we can demonstrate that over and over in the classroom situation, which really reduces the amount of time required to drive on the street. So from an efficiency standpoint, in addition to the time challenges associated with actually taking these vehicles out on the road, we're able to duplicate a lot of this training in the classroom setting. We can teach fundamental processes and procedures, things that we really want to focus on as a department. We use industry standards and some standards that we've developed on our own. For example, a cone course. We have specific cone courses that are derived from dimensions, standard NFPA requirements for the different types of vehicles. We can actually teach people the process and the fundamental skills associated with practicing a cone course here in the sim lab. And then when we take them out to do it in the actual vehicle, it will demonstrate a reduction in time. There's still time that's necessary on the drill field where you're actually navigating a cone course, and you must do that to successfully complete the requirements and graduate onto the next phase of driver training. But it does reduce the amount of time. In turn, that reduces the amount of fuel consumption, wear and tear on the vehicles. These are heavy vehicles. They're expensive to operate. They're expensive to purchase. Things like steering geometry, that is difficult for a new operator to learn. These vehicles are heavy. They're typically heavier than a commercial over-the-road freight truck. And so that all adds loads to the tires, to the suspension components, and by us being able to, say cut it in half, we reduce the cost associated. We also reduce the need for actual vehicles. If one of our vehicles is in the shop and we're not able to have an actual vehicle to take out on the road, we can begin the process here in the sim lab.
The department's goal with this is to develop a curriculum, get it certified by an insurance company, and have it so that we can reduce not only our cost, but also teach outside agencies and reduce their insurance costs when they go through the whole curriculum.
The fire department's overall mission is to serve our communities by protecting life, preserving property and the environment, through prevention, education, rescue, fire suppression, and emergency medical services. Our firefighters and EMTs train constantly to ensure they can accomplish that mission. By providing our fire personnel with state-of-the-art training, our fire department ensures the quickest and safest response when we call for help.